From what I can tell, people either really love or hate this game, which seems to come from the level of grind that it has. As a person who loves a good grindy game, I figured I was in for a good experience, and yeah, I was pretty right. I have kind of been in a little bit of a funk these past few months. Very few games are really grabbing my attention at the moment, and most I've been struggling to play for the first few hours until I really get sucked in. But within mere minutes, Bandle Tale had grabbed my attention. You get a bit of background at the start where a place called Bandle City got some kind of illness that has torn it apart, and you're the hero of the story. But as for now, you're basically a hermit that stays at home and knits. You're off daydreaming when your best friend Clover comes over and asks if you want to go on an adventure. Being a hermit, you say no, especially since you have a bung leg that slows you down and she just goes off by herself while you stay at home. Back to your knitting, you get a bit of a tutorial showing you the menu system, how to equip items, and so on while you repair your sewing gear and make some new rope. Not long after this, your grandpa comes home and says it's time for you to set off and experience the world. Aware of your leg issue, he has crafted you a special leg brace to fix it, and it works. And best of all, you still have a little waddle run, which is just super cute. So now obviously you gotta show off your sick new leg to your best friend, so off you go into the world. Questioning a few people near your home, it's clear that you never leave your house often, but they direct you towards the area you need to go to find your friend. Here you're shown the leveling up system, so as you experience the world, make and fix things and so on, you gain emotion. When you sleep, this emotion is processed into skill points that you can use to unlock skills in the skill tree. Kind of a cool twist on a classic system, I think. You'll also find this really cool backpack which has a cozy little home inside of it as well. So at a first glance, I love the systems in place. I love that they've been explained to me as I've been playing so many games lately where they kind of just leave you to figure absolutely everything out by yourself. And I'm also loving the little world here, as it's pretty obvious from the get-go that this world revolves around knitting, which is pretty cool. So despite being a hermit for some, 100 years or so, you and your friend manage to fix the portal in town and sneak off to a party. Some stuff goes down and basically you have destroyed every single portal along with a bunch of magic and have completely ruined a whole bunch of lives. And to top it all off, your best friend is now missing. So this is just where the game kind of kicks off and really starts. You are now on a quest to save your friend, and with that comes a long, grindy road ahead of you. With the portals down, there's actually no way to travel across these floating islands anymore. Luckily, you're able to make it back to your hometown where you'll be taught about food events. Basically, you can cook for the people on an island in order to make some cash. You'll also learn about parties which are needed to make something called portal yarn, and all of these events you can hold have a special requirement that needs to be met before you can do them. If it's sounding complicated, it's because it is. Bandle Tale has a million different things in it, and you're basically learning how to do things throughout the whole game, and it's really full on. During this time, I also came to realize just how awesome my new backpack home is. It comes with all these little mats, so you'll have a food stand mat with your cooking gear that can be unrolled and rolled back up as needed. You'll have a party mat too, and eventually you'll get others such as a merchant mat, one for workbenches, and so on. It's a really unique way of having a game with a ton of crafting machines, but keeping it kind of nice and neat. Not only this, but your new backpack house is indeed a backpack, so you can just pick it up and carry it around, placing it in new locations to suit your needs. So it's just a really cool, unique game mechanic here that I've never seen before. Eventually you'll make your way over to Bandle City, which is the center hub of all the islands. Here you'll find a sort of drama rivalry that you'll need to assist with. Most quests in this game are pretty much fetch quests or crafting an item, and here is where I really began to appreciate the grind that many people mentioned. It's one of those games where you'll have a ton of different crafting machines, and to make one item you'll need to make 3 other items first, but to make those items you'll need a new crafting machine, but to get that you need to find this new material. You get it. It's incredibly convoluted and insane. Think of my time at Porsche games, but probably even worse than that. Every other quest will need you to unlock a new skill so that you can make new items or harvest something new, but in a way this also keeps the gameplay fresh. And hey, I love a good grind. Although in saying that, this game, even for me, was a very full-on grind. So much so that I didn't always enjoy it and felt it was way too much, so I had to take little breaks pretty often just to get back into it. So Bandle City has a handful of problems for you to solve, which will require you to throw some parties and whatnot, but eventually you'll be able to connect Bandle City to the 3 other surrounding islands, where you'll also find that these have their own set of dramas to deal with. So while your main goal is to ultimately find your best friend, you'll need to help everyone else along the way, which requires a ton of crafting. So you'll find yourself going from island to island, finding lots of things to do, but always searching for the one that you actually have the skills to help with at that point in time. I did find myself getting lost a lot during these quests. It's not always clear how to do things or what materials that you need to find or even where to find them, especially as you're starting out. And since you're always kind of learning new things in this game, I found that I got stuck even during like the middle and the last parts of the game because I was always learning new things. My advice to anyone who gets stuck at any point in this game where you can't figure out where to get a material or how to build something, go and check your skill tree. Anytime I was in this situation, it was usually because I needed to unlock a new skill that would let me collect new ingredients or craft a new machine to make something. So Bandle Tale to me is quite a unique game that has a lot of new elements that I haven't seen before, and I think that's what really drew me into it. An original game with lots of original ideas and a whole lot of content as well. So I think it really comes down to whether you love a good grind or whether you hate it, and that pretty much determines whether you should play this game. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and a comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!